I'm applying to a business program. I will now read the questions on the application to that program, and I will also read my answers to those questions. Question: what is your business idea? Include products or services. Answer: I will be offering live, online, one-on-one instruction to high-level scholars and professionals who speak English with functional fluency, but not with professional fluency. For example, suppose that person X, a native speaker of Korean, is a brilliant lawyer who speaks English with functional fluency, meaning that his English is good enough for him to perform day-to-day tasks, but whose English is not nearly good enough for him to write convincing briefs or to express complex legal concepts. Person X needs someone who not only speaks English with native fluency, but can speak it well enough for X's purposes. Person X needs someone whose intellectual level and training are that of a college professor. This is the service that I will personally provide, and as my business grows, I will find others to join me in providing it. The nature of this service combines elements of ESL instruction and also of consulting. However, whereas ESL instruction is focused primarily on language mechanics to the exclusion of intricacies relating to content, this service is concerned precisely with such intricacies. Being concerned with content, and not just with language mechanics, this service is more in the nature of consulting than of ESL instruction. At the same time, whereas most consulting is domain-specific, being concerned with a particular profession or business sector, this service is domain non-specific, in the sense that it avails high-level professionals of the ability to use the English language in a way that suits their professional needs, no matter what those needs might be. Question: who is the customer to whom you are selling? Answer: my customers will be high-level professionals and scholars, lawyers, executives, professors, doctoral candidates, for whom English is a second language and who speak English with reasonable fluency but not with the high degree of precision and range with which their professional needs require them to speak it. For example, a brilliant graduate student in philosophy from Norway might get a scholarship to study at an American university for a year. It is a distinct possibility that although his English is more than adequate for most purposes, he cannot do justice to his thought when speaking English. As a result, even though this person is an A+ level scholar when speaking Norwegian, and even though he is technically fluent in English, his professional work in English is that of a B student. This person can get by in English, and he may even speak English better than most native speakers of English. But that is not enough for him, since his command of the English language must be strong enough for him to acquit himself with distinction in high-level contexts. My service will help him with this. Question: why will people buy your products or services? What makes your idea special? Answer: there are several things that make my idea special. First, there is enormous demand for it. I know this from my 15 years as a professor and my 7 years as a graduate student. As a graduate student, I had many classmates from abroad, all of whom were extremely intelligent and all of whom were functionally fluent in English, but none of whom could use the English language with anything even approaching the dexterity with which they could use their native languages. As a result, in English-speaking academic contexts, they were B students, even though in actuality they were A+ students. What they needed was someone whose intellect and training was comparable to theirs, but whose native language was English. When these people went to college tutors, they were given instruction appropriate for someone doing low-level undergraduate work. When they sought help outside of the university, they were given instruction appropriate to someone who needed help only with language mechanics. And when they turned to other graduate students, they could not find any who would work with the requisite degree of consistency and dedication. But there is a veritable flood of extremely capable PhDs who cannot get professorships notwithstanding their abilities, and who are, at the same time, either unable or unwilling to do work of a non-professorial nature. However, these same would-be professors are often unable or unwilling to go to the trouble of setting up a business. There is therefore a large demand for this service, as well as a large potential supply, and my service will make the supply available. Question: what makes you think you will be successful? Answer: here are some of the reasons why I will succeed in this enterprise. My doctorate in philosophy from the University of California at Santa Barbara, almost 20 years experience in higher education, teaching a variety of subjects, philosophy, mathematics, and public policy, to a wide range of students, my scholarly accomplishments, my several large-scale treatises, and my innumerably many shorter works, my commercial success as an author. I am frequently #1 on Amazon in epistemology, mathematical logic, set theory, and several other categories. My ability to master new skills and to quickly assimilate large bodies of information, as evidenced by my range and depth as an author, composer, and voiceover artist. My ability to connect with people, especially through audio, as evidenced by my highly successful podcast. My boundless interest in other people and cultures. My ability to think both creatively and analytically. My strong belief in the legitimacy of the service that I will be providing, along with my knowledge of the inability on the part of traditional educational media to provide this much-needed service. My burning desire to have an intellectually stimulating career that is based on my proven areas of strength, these being thought and verbal communication. My prowess with computers and with technology generally. My ability to listen to others and to learn from them. And finally, my knowledge that the service I am providing will help people put their abilities to use, thereby improving their own lives and those of others.